We are recording. We're live. Let me welcome in a few more people here. Diana's in the house. Welcome, Diana. Julianne is here. And Jan is here. Good afternoon, Stuart and Dayo. Hey, everybody. I am so excited. Today's business coaching session, you don't just get me. You get Dayo Esho. And I'm not even going to introduce him. Who are you? Well, in case there's somebody out there who has not met your smiling face yet and the product that you are the co-founder of, take a minute and introduce yourself, please.
Well, I'm just trying to keep up with your energy, Stuart. Again, my name is Dayo Esho. Really happy to be here. Co-founder and CEO of a company called TravelJoy. We are a small startup here in San Francisco, and we build software to help busy travel agents grow their business and streamline their communication.
Very cool. And you've been doing this now a couple of years, you said?
It's been a couple of years. We started in private beta just with a handful of travel agents, interviewed over 50 travel agents before even writing any of the software. And it's just been one of those processes where we have taken in our feedback from our customers and built a product around that. And it's 100% our focus. It's solely focused on travel agents building what they need to grow their business, making them more profitable. And it's been a wild ride. It's been fun so far.
Why? What brought you to this industry? I don't know if your background is software development, but tell us how you ended up here and why you found there's a need for this.
Yeah, it's a great question. So my co-founder and I, Chris, which many of you also probably know, we've been working together for 11 years. And so this isn't our first rodeo. We have been developing software for many years, but about a little over 2 years ago, we were trying to figure out what we wanted to work on next. And we knew we wanted to help independent professionals, small business owners who appeared underserved by software. And I actually grew up in the travel industry supporting my mom's business. And so she had her own travel agency. I helped build her websites, just helped her with her business. She ran the group trips for my high school marching band, the Highlanders. So I experienced it from both ends there and saw the tools that she used. And so naturally, when we were getting started, we thought of travel agents. And we just said, okay, surely things have changed since my mom was using software 15 years ago, and so let's just go talk to some travel agents and see what they're using. And we were blown away by the lack of modern tools and just the amount of pen and paper and spreadsheets, that it was literally death by spreadsheets and pen and paper. And so we saw just a huge opportunity to build tools solely for the travel agent to help them grow their business.
You are a keynote speaker in the Group Sales Success Summit, which I am eternally grateful for. And you were on day 9. I've got my whiteboard is still up here, which when we were in the thick of things here, I kept switching names, but you're right there. You were the kickoff on day 9. And what I loved about your delivery, and friends, if you have not yet seen his keynote, you need to, because what you did was you went back and you saw what you believe were the biggest takeaways, best practices, what you saw the most successful agents who are using your product, because that's your basis where you see it. What were they doing? So that we can learn. Hey, the best way to learn is stop doing the things that aren't working and do the things that the biggest producers are. Why aren't more travel professionals paying the money to use a system like yours? This blows my mind. All these years I've been in the business, my friend, it's been a long time. I hear nothing but, the woes of getting buried in paperwork, not being able to keep up. How do I process groups? I can only handle one group at a time. What's the obstacle, and then what's the payoff? So give me at the beginning of the bridge and what's at the end of the bridge over the rainbow.
Yeah, I think, there's a number of obstacles, right? So I think the first is you've got to have the pain. So I think being at the point where you've felt the pain of having the spreadsheets, the pen and paper, the binders of clients, and just trying to keep all that together, supplier information, I think number one, you got to have the pain so you know what to look for. And so someone else might be getting a lot of value out of TravelJoy, but if you don't know what that pain is, you don't really know what you're looking to solve. And so I'd say that's the number one thing. So you've got to have that pain and have that need. And many of our customers were, using a ton of spreadsheets or trying to stitch together 7 to 10 different tools to fit their exact need. And so you've got to have that pain and desire to try to fix that. I think the other big obstacle is just, you're super busy. Many of our customers have been working till midnight every night and don't have the time to learn another system, to hop on another webinar, to spend the time transitioning software, something that they've been using for over 10 years or 15 years or whatever it might be. So those are two very big obstacles that we see. And I'll tell you, those are real deals. And so we do our best to make it really easy. We always tell people, don't switch over all of your data at once when you're trying out TravelJoy. Our whole thing, we hate to use the term CRM because it's just a checkbox that people use. And we started TravelJoy, it was all around streamlining client communication. And so if you look at it from that viewpoint, you say, what's the next thing I need to do? I need to get a signature on a waiver form, or I need to send out a travel insurance form, or I need to collect my travel planning fee. We say, what's that next thing that you need to do? And just try that out on TravelJoy and see how you like it. And so when people start to do that, they send their first invoice or form or proposal, and they see how professional it looks. They get the feedback from their clients on how easy it was. Then a light bulb goes off and they see, okay, here's how I know I can start using this system for more trips and more touch points with my client. And then you'll start to notice that, oh, by the way, all my data is starting to end up in the system. I'm really enjoying it here. Now I feel comfortable enough to move it over. And so that's really how I think with most CRMs, it's, okay, I've got to do the massive import of all my data, and I'm afraid, is all this information going to get over correctly? Am I ready to abandon this system that I've gotten used to for so many years? And so we really tell people to focus on the next touch point, the next piece of client information, and then when you hit that light bulb, then it's time to really shift things over.
Make the shift, yeah, right. Because it's a daunting concept of doing the switch, and everyone's busy. And then what if things don't work? And how do I do it? And friends, look, we've all gone through this, right? Listen, everybody, we've all gone through transitioning to new online tools, and this is a blessing and a curse. One day it's working fine, the next day I'm out of memory. Oh no, what do I do? Right. Or there's an app for that. So we've already gone through significant transitions, and friends, again, I hear this all the time. The biggest obstacle preventing you from doing what you love to do most, which is helping people, preventing them from making terrible mistakes when it comes to booking travel. That's your job. Your job is to make sure they don't miss things. They don't make terrible mistakes. They don't regret doing it alone. And you need to bring a level of super efficiency to your business, because I know that the Groups Have Success Summit and Boot Camp, groups. I talk groups, but so many agents, they can't live up to their full financial potential and customer service potential because they're mired in this. And I want to start off by reading this. Jennifer posted this in Boot Camp. Jennifer, I hope you don't mind her. I love the name of her agency too, Dayo. It's called the Itinerary Artists.
That's awesome.
And I just want to read this, friends. And while I'm reading this, I want all of you to start using your fingers. And here's the deal. If it's your first time here, if you're a guest, because normally this coaching show is for members of Boot Camp only. I opened it up when I have an expert guest, and because I want everybody to hear these stories and to be inspired. So you're never going to see a slide. This is not a webinar, okay? This is highly engaging. Our agenda is your agenda. If you've got a question for me or for Dayo, and it could be about a CRM. I hate using that word too. I don't even like using the word technology because it scares people away. How about solutions? Help me. I'm dying over here. As Amber said, she said, death by spreadsheet, LOL. I love it. Okay. What are the pain points? When you go to sleep at night, what keeps you awake realizing you're falling behind on? What do you procrastinate doing? Type it in now. I just want to know what drives you crazy about the management, the process of doing business today. I would just be curious. While I read this, Jennifer shared this. Now, check this out. Hey there, for those of you thinking about TravelJoy, and mind you, friends, I'm not endorsing any product, anything. I'm here because I've heard great things about your product, Dayo. I've heard great things about you personally. You were kind enough to give us a keynote in the summit, which I'm grateful for. And I know you've got the solution that these entrepreneurs can use. And that's my job, is to try to, inspire new ideas. And if they want to use your product, that nothing would make me happier. Okay, but friends, we're just here. This is an information forum. We're sharing information. So I'm not on the take here, friends. Dayo is not paying me. It's not a joint venture. He's not paying me per new guy. All right, we're cool with that. Hey there, for those of you thinking about using TravelJoy, I want to show you how I use the tool for groups so you can have a better idea. I'm a bit techie, so in this case, Jennifer is a bit techie. So while this was a pretty simple to set up like anything new, there's a learning curve. Anyway, when I create a group in TravelJoy, I create an online registration form. Listen to the first thing I said, friends. Could you imagine having an online registration form? And I know some suppliers give you this, but very few really do. Imagine having one single source registration form so you don't need to learn how everyone else's forms work, and it integrates with your database. Let me get back here to link to use on my sales page. You can see this in action by clicking on the Register Now button for a cruise. Please, all right, so here's the deal. She gave me a URL, and I can't post it here, but friends, I'm going to ask Jennifer if it's okay if I post it. It's in Bootcamp. If you're not a Bootcamp member, Jennifer, let me know if I can post this in the Group Sales Success Summit and make it public. I want you guys to see this. Okay, so here's what it does. Once a client fills out my web form, it creates my client file for them. So friends, they enter their own information. You're not on the phone. You're not doing one of these things. Goodness gracious, could you imagine? I mean, this is what you end up doing after the day, and you end up making terrible mistakes. Let them type it in. So if they make a mistake, it's their fault, not yours. But of course, you confirm it with them. Hang on. I can then choose to send a generic message to the entire group or to separate passengers within the group, like invoices. Also, I like that I can see open rates for open rates. Open rates meaning click and open, right? For notes I send to clients and leads. So Dayo, this product not only is a back office administrative tool, but on the CRM side, it also it provides information. Hey, did you open my email or didn't you? I'm sharing information. So I just needed to share this with you. I don't know if you want to add any color to this, but it's exciting for me to see an agent embracing it and admitting there's a learning curve. But once you do it, it becomes a habit.
Right. And thank you so much, Jennifer. That was awesome. A big philosophy of ours, and the reason we don't like using that term CRM, is because we're 100% focused on helping people do their work, not just record their work. Mm-hmm. So that's sort of flipped with most CRM software. Is all about recording and typing into your database. But if you think about it from a communication standpoint and actually interacting with your client, if you put that first, then all the data will trickle down into your system and it will be recorded there anyway. So we're basically saying, how can we shortcut a step on all the communication? So that form that Jennifer has, it creates not only the client file, but it creates a separate trip for them in that file so that you can communicate in an isolated way with that new client that comes in, but also include them in the group announcements that you might have saved. So you might have some canned email templates that you want to send the group on schedule. And the other cool thing is that it shows up. This is the big spreadsheet replacer. It shows up on the group status tab that we have there in TravelJoy. So that'll tell you who's filled out your forms, who signed your waiver that they want to decline travel insurance, who needs to pay, who's paid in full, or who's still got payments coming up for their trip. And so all that is consolidated in one place. You can upload your files. There's no guessing on where to put things. And so it's just an easy, consolidated place to manage all your communication for your group.
Is this a web-based tool, Dayo? Which means if somebody, because our people travel all the time, they're out, leading groups, or they're on fam trips or conferences. Is it accessible I mean, I don't know the answer to this. Anytime, any place?
Anytime, any place. Phone, tablet, laptop. It's a cloud-based tool. And so anywhere you are, just got to remember your password.
Good luck with that.
That's the only issue there.
All right, here we go. I'm going to plow through some of these comments here. Diana says, details of people's trips. Did I forget something important? Missed something? All the teeny tiny things that keep me up at night. That's what Diana, because you're dealing with so many people. What did I tell them? What did I not tell them? And this apparently, a tool like yours will keep a record of those communications. And if they call you, Diana, and they go, oh, I didn't get this, you didn't tell me, you can go back and say, well, I sent you that email on the 4th and you haven't opened it yet. Let's figure out why. Maybe it's a spam folder, or did you just miss it? So thank you for sharing that, Diana. Christy says, all the back end stuff, invoicing with a host, trying to remember all the booking registrations with different hotel chains. So let's see, booking registrations with all hotel chains. So does your product integrate, I'm curious, an API with any booking sources out there, be it hotel or cruise, or it's independent and agents feed information in?
Today it's independent. This is one of our biggest requests from our agents today. And so it's something that we're looking into. We never view the software as completely finished, and so every day we're making improvements, but that's a big one on our list.
Yeah, and that's huge, because to build an API where you have systems talk to each other, wow, it's wonderful, but it's very complex to build. Been a part of that, not easy, could be down the road in the future, but the bottom line is, at least you, Christy, the agent, all of your backend stuff is in one place, so you master it, you know how to use it, and your customer can easily fill in the blank and click send or submit, and it populates your database, one database. Julianne says, I worry about missing deadlines. I would love to have a second reminder when we set up a calendar reminders in the system. So I would imagine it has a reminder feature.
Yeah, we've got a reminder, but yeah, that's a great bit of feedback there for a second reminder to come through.
Cool. Kathy says, I feel like I enter things so many different areas, a CRM for my host, but then I do my own thing for my clients, and hold on, I still write notes on paper and pen because I feel like I can get it fastest. So how is this better than just a CRM tool, I guess, because there's different things. So everybody, in case you don't know, CRM is usually correct me if I'm wrong here, like you might use a MailChimp or something that you're deploying emails with, a database, an email database deployment system. Okay, and then the other tool is the management tool of a business. Okay, I don't even want to say the word travel agency, because all entrepreneurs, friends, if you don't have a back office warehouse that contains your client information, you're in trouble. But by connecting the two, right, integrating the two, it's a beautiful thing. So you want to take on Kathy's question, how is it better than just a CRM?
Well, one of the things with our trip page, we actually call it the digital paper trail. And so you've got your normal paper trail where you might have your reminders and your notes and a stack of papers on your desk, and everything that you told the client and everything that they've told you when you were on the phone, you write that down somewhere and you put it away in a stack for this specific trip. Well, we've taken that in TravelJoy, and you can actually see in one place there's a feed of all the communication back and forth. And so when your client fills out a form, that shows up as a message in your TravelJoy trip. And so if there's any disputes or any, they feel like you recorded information incorrectly, you can go down that feed and find the exact message, but they can also see the same feed. And so there's an important thing here where the digital history is all there in one place for you to see as the agent, but also for your client to go and refer back to. So that's a big thing with the communication. Around the tasks and reminders, that's all tied into the trip as well. So you can set up tasks and reminders. And then for those trips where you're doing the same thing, it might be, for a Disney specific trip, you need to get the fast passes, you need to register the family for the dinner, you need to, send them the checklist of things. Well, you can create what's called a task list template, and you just import that for your Disney trip, and it's going to fill in all the automatic due dates for you when you're working on those.
I love that. That's critical. And I just want to pick up on that for a second, bringing it home. Friends, whether you do groups or not, and I hope you do, but especially in the group business, you've heard me preach before that if you are selling the bare bones, stripped down, off the shelf product for a group, all right, then they're going to shop you till they drop you. And what do they need you for? They need you for building value, to building a more inclusive product. I didn't say all, more. And when you have a built-in tool here that's going to remind you, yeah, it's a Disney trip, or it's this group, and I need to make sure these excursions are done, and all the extras that you have built in. Because, friends, if you're just in this business for set it and forget it, I will book exactly what that client asks for, because they think that's all they need. They're wrong, because they're going to come back saying, I didn't know I could have booked this in advance. I didn't know I could have had a private excursion from a group. I didn't know we could have had a private cocktail party. It's your fault. It's not their fault. But then you use a management tool like this to remind you, bing, 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 I've got to do the seating arrangements on board the ship for the awards banquet. Those reminders are great, and they're built in so you can go to sleep at night knowing there's going to be a ding, ding, ding when it's time to do that. Now, Jackie says, Jackie, I got you. Here we go. All right, you got to do this now, and let's see if you can do it in 60 seconds or less. You ready, Dayo? Here we go. She's on the spot. He has no idea what's coming. I really don't understand what TravelJoy is, so I'm not sure if I would need it. What is TravelJoy?
All right, so I'm going to avoid using CRM in this description, but basically what TravelJoy does is eliminates all of your pen and paper, brings it into a digital solution to help you streamline your client communication, your payments, your reminders, your client profiles, all in one place. And it happens to be modern and easy to use. And so our main philosophy is helping you do your work, not just record your work. And you should check it out. It's a 7-day free trial. And let us know. Shoot us a message, and we'll see if we can fit your pain points.
Is there a demo that I know you had asked if we were going to do demo here, and we're not going to have time for that. Maybe we could do that down the road. But is there a demo on the site so they can see?
There is absolutely a demo. In fact, today we've got a live demo. Alan, our head of customer success, is going to be running in about an hour and a half. And so if you just want to shoot me a note at hello@traveljoy.com, I can send you the link to that. Or if you sign up on TravelJoy for a free trial, you'll see in the video tutorial section a recording of our previous webinars.
Cool. That's great. All right, everybody, you got that. It's hello@traveljoy.com. I love all the positive. You're very similar marketing philosophies here, if I may say so myself. Hello, what a positive word. Alan is the head of customer success, because the words customer service are meaningless. They're overused and abused, don't really mean anything. I mean, and I hope there's nobody who's going to take offense to this, but Comcast will tell you they have great customer service. Really? Boy, if they set the bar, okay, let me move on here. Catherine says, I'm still searching for software that will let me track my clients' bucket lists, preferences, etc. So I know when a great option on one of their desires is available. So does it store? Can an agent take those notes and help the agent remember, oh yeah, they were looking for a skydiving opportunity over Jamaica? I don't know, but does it do that kind of stuff?
I'd say yes and no. We could do better on this. Bucket list tool is one of the big requests from our customers as well. But right now, the client profiles are fully customizable. So you can add any number of fields into the client profiles and have a form that you can send your clients to fill out. And so if you want to create a bucket list form for your clients and feed that into their client profiles, that's totally possible. And we can help you set that up.
Okay, that's very cool. And Catherine, I like your thinking. I like your thinking because in this business, friends, it's not about making the one booking and hope they come back for more. It's about the referral business, right? That's how we all build successful businesses. It's repeat. You want to grow your business exponentially. But people, loyalty is a two-way street. I teach this and when I do my keynotes. Just because you've done a great job, that's expected. You haven't earned my loyalty by doing a great job. I expect you to do that. If you want to earn my loyalty, remember that I got to go lactose free. So don't fix me up on an opportunity that is going to get me sick. Remember who I am and reach out to me with opportunities that are on my bucket list. Catherine, I really like your thinking. Jean Ann says, my pain is not knowing which new products will integrate well with existing tools I'm using. For instance, client base, where I can upload client data and import the bookings. Or do you interact directly with booking engines? So does that make sense, or should I read it again? Did you get that?
Makes total sense. Comes up often. Client-based integration is something that is on our list as well. We don't have it today, and we don't integrate with booking engines. I'd say the big difference between us and something like client-based is client-based has been around since 1986, has tons of widgets, and takes 3 months of training to figure out, all of the bells and whistles with it. We're focused on the communication piece, and so where agents tend to use us alongside or instead of client base is actually sending invoices, sending communication, collecting forms, signatures, that sort of thing. And then what we'll see is our customers entering the bare minimum in client base, which they might have to use to get paid by their host. But we're looking at ways to alleviate that pain point in the future.
Okay. All right, Jean Ann, let me know if that answered your question, or certainly reach out to Dayo and his team directly, or Alan or something, to get those questions answered, those specific tech questions answered. Lena, who is our mutual friend. Lena, by the way, your post on Facebook was hilarious. Was it in Norway? It was showing a picture of a reindeer, right? I just have to say this. Crossing the road at a crosswalk. That was hilarious. You couldn't have set this up. It was not CGI. It was too funny. But Lena says, TravelJoy has definitely helped me stay organized. I mean, I could end her statement right there. Wouldn't it be great to be more organized, friends? One of the best investments I've made in my business. And it's an investment. That's the difference. Let me take a second here to say that's the difference between a travel agent and an entrepreneurial travel agent. A travel agent shows up for work, and they sort of the go-between between the supplier or destination and the customer. They do what they're asked, they do what they're told. Nothing more, nothing less. And they may be terrific at their job. But the travel agent entrepreneur, lifts it up, elevates it, right? Creates a more inclusive package. Make sure the customer does many things. Thinks for the customer. You know what? This is not going to be a good choice. I recommend you make a right turn, not a left turn. You remember what's on the bucket list. And you have cash on hand to secure group space. Quit blaming the supplier for wanting to take your space back and wanting money. I was on the supplier side 50% of my career. And I don't understand. If you're in business, friends, you got to have some cash on hand. Have a bake sale if you need to have some cash on hand. So you could put, it's like, and I mean this with all due respect and nothing but love, put up or shut up. Put up the money, hold the space, go market it. Now, having been on the supplier, so I just want to tell you and everybody else this. I know that the attrition rate, I just want to define that, attrition, is when an agent blocks 10 cabins and books 3. 7 fall through, and that supplier, especially cruise lines, they have to resell that. In other words, when they give out group space, it's a statistical game they play. The agents who put up the money will get to keep their space longer and will get more benefits and have more negotiating power in the future. There's a little inside scoop for you, friends. Because when you put down money, you're more serious. I'm just letting you know. Okay, back on track. I have a habit of doing that. You know, whatever comes to mind. There we go. Kay says, will our database transfer rather than us retype? So I don't know what database Kay has, but you addressed that with client base. Is it a manual entering of information, or is there some level of automated integration to move stuff over?
Well, certainly when you're importing from another system, we've got two types of imports. And so the first is what we call an instant import, where you download our spreadsheet, and it basically has the fields for you to enter your data into, and then you upload that, and that's immediately available for you. So if you use our instant import spreadsheet, you can import any sort of client data you want. Okay. And then we've got what's called a custom import, where you might have data from different systems and different formats. You don't want to spend the time mapping it to TravelJoy's database. Well, we'll do that for you. It'll just take us a little bit of time because we've got to do the mapping on the back end. But we have a custom import that we offer as well.
Okay. And mapping, everybody, mapping is when you match up first name with first name. So you don't get somebody's email address appearing in the first name. Is that right? I just want to make sure everybody understands. Very cool. Ellie says, we got a lot of comments coming in. I got to go through these, and I'm going to get to these too. Everybody, thanks for being here. Thanks for participating. And Dayo, again, thank you again for giving us this time.
This is great.
Ellie says, do you have webinars or a place to find resources to help with the learning curve or issues that can't come up?
Absolutely. So we run a weekly TravelJoy 101, which is basically just showing you the ropes. That's happening today at 11 a.m. Maybe I can send out a link after this. I'll give it to you, Stuart, to post on your group.
Okay.
But we also have a 201, which is the advanced webinar. That gets into groups, that gets into task list automation, that gets into templates, setting up forms, customizing the forms. So those are live and weekly webinars that we have. And then we have recordings of those that we post on our website, and we also cut up. We know everyone doesn't have an hour, 30 minutes even to set aside, so we've cut up, bite-sized videos that are 1 minute to 2 minutes, just going over specific things. If you want to learn how to send invoices, we got a 1 minute video for that. If you want to learn how to set up your email templates, there's a video for that. So you'll find all of that in your TravelJoy account. There's a tutorials tab, and it's got the recordings of our most recent webinars, but also just those bite-sized videos for specific questions you have. In addition, we've got the Help Center with hundreds of articles, which you can go read further on topics, find pro tips. But if you don't have the time to read those, that's fine. You can always just shoot us a message in the app. There's a little chat icon where you can reach us with a specific question there as well.
Cool. Very good. There you go. I love bite size. Like when if I have a question with the tool I'm using, like I use Camtasia to do all of my video production work. Man, you just type it in, boom, there's a quick 60-second video, and I get it. I can consume it on demand. I love that. Marina said, I just came in. Is this group form something? The group form, I guess we were talking about before, that Jennifer created. Does the TravelJoy create that form, or does she create the form? So do you have ready-made registration forms? And part two, can they be customized?
Yeah, so every TravelJoy account comes with 10 default forms, from client registration, simple contact us forms, to travel insurance, to passport forms, etc. And then if you need recommendations, you can send us a form that you might have in a Word doc or PDF. Or on some other form site like JotForm or Cognito Forms, and we can give you recommendations on how to get that into TravelJoy as well. And so we see a ton of forms, we see hundreds and hundreds of forms, and so we see what the best practices are across our members, and we can always give recommendations.
Yeah, great stuff. I happen to use, I was an early adopter of JotForm. And still use that today, in addition to MailChimp. Julianne says, still transitioning, and I'm sending emails both through my regular email and through TravelJoy. Now, here's a twist. Take this one on. Some of my clients say they don't see my messages that are sent through TravelJoy, that sometimes it goes into spam. How would you respond to that? How do we solve that?
Yeah, so spam and email delivery is a super, super hard problem. It's something that is core to what we're doing and where we spend a lot of our time. There's a lot of secret sauce with it. There are some of the older providers, like Comcast, that just decide not to deliver mail. And so it might deliver through Gmail, it might not deliver on Comcast. And so we've got to go work with the Comcast tech team to figure out what's going on. Why don't they deliver some mail, even though it's marked as delivered when it's sent? And so that is something that we keep moving, the goalposts on and checking off the milestones. But it's a moving target. So we did just overcome a very big technical challenge with Comcast last week. So that might be what that issue is. But Julianne, please let us know when you hit these issues, because we'd love to look into those specific things and make sure that we are on top of them.
Yeah. And I just want to tell everybody, if you were part of Group Sales Success Summit, and I did the daily email, hey, day 1 is open, day 2 is open. Friends, I can't even tell you how many emails or instant messages I would get saying, I didn't get it. Stuart, I didn't get it. And I go back into MailChimp, because it shows me it was delivered at 7:41 a.m. and sure enough, you did not open it. So it's there. Well, it's not, because sometimes emails that are deployed, even though I'm following the rules, okay, it just knows it. The servers know, or whatever. I'm making up words here, that it was deployed as a bulk email, and it'll hold it back. Now, that can be adjusted at your end. The user could have very high security settings. There's so many factors here, friends. So it may not be MailChimp, so it may not be TravelJoy's fault. It could be the end user, or it could be the provider, like a Comcast or a Verizon or whatever. Unfortunately, I don't think there's any one solution. It's an issue. Now, boy, do I wish they can create, and I think they're out there now, something to stop the robocalls.
Those are terrible.
Dude, that is killing me, because, when I answer the phone, I give it energy, and if I'm answering with that energy and I waste it on a robocall, I'm upset. Kyle wants to know, can I create automated campaigns?
Yeah, so this is, I'll give you a kind of. So you can definitely create a automated set of tasks that will remind you, and those don't go out automatically to the client today. The way it works is you'll get an email that says time to send this email to your client, and it's just 2 clicks from there to send it off to your client.
To deploy. So you can have the emails ready made that just reminds you, click send. Okay.
So that's another improvement that's coming soon. So stay tuned for that.
All right. Kyle, question 2: Does it store credit card information, past guest numbers? Is it secure enough to store precious credit card information?
Yeah. So one of the key features of TravelJoy is secure credit card storage, and it's fully PCI compliant. It's a little bit technical, but the way it works, when you send a credit card authorization form through TravelJoy to your client, it goes from your client's browser directly to our secure third-party tokenization provider. It's fully PCI compliant. And we make sure that none of those details ever touch TravelJoy servers. It's a very, very important security aspect of the feature, and vice versa. When you go to retrieve those details, it goes directly from our secure credit card tokenization provider to your browser. So again, on both ways, TravelJoy is facilitating the transfer and the authorization, but not actually touching the details, which is the key piece of this.
Good deal. That's big information. All right, I want to switch. I know I got a ton of comments coming in. Hang on for me, everybody. But I want to address this because Steph had sent this in from Travel Superhero, and let's see. I'd be curious. Your mom's in the business. Is she still in the business?
No, my mom has gone on to do counseling now. But she's both my parents are entrepreneurs for life. That's what probably got me to be an entrepreneur, just watching them go after their passions.
Very cool.
Yeah, she's on to her next venture.
There you go. Well, Steph wants to know, this was posted in our group on Facebook about not saying travel free. attract new business, to attract group leaders. So Steph wants to know, so if we don't say, hey, you can travel free as sort of the hook to bring them in, it should, and these are her words, use the word heavily discounted. If you could let us know what best practices are, she said she'd appreciate it. So you want to take that on? I've got a good answer for this too, but I want to hear other perspectives on this as well. What would you say?
Yeah, so I'll give you one unique vantage point that we see on TravelJoy, and that is for agents who typically charge a service fee. There's different levers that you can pull in your sales process, and so you might reduce your service fee or waive it for groups, and we've seen that as an effective tool for agents when they're actually closing these groups to mention, hey, I normally charge a $500 service fee for this. I'll heavily discount it down to $100 or waive it once we have the minimum number of seats booked on this trip. And so that's one unique vantage point that we've seen. I think the most important thing is that your clients know that, hey, this is a high value service that I'm getting. And so having a fee is one way of communicating your value. And then your clients will see, hey, you're actually throwing them a bone by working together, and they're able to get some sort of discount here. But I think free as a lever by itself, we haven't seen that work very well, or when it does, it brings in the wrong kind of customer. And so I think you want to be careful with free as a lever versus a discount as a lever.
Yeah, I entirely agree with you. And to add more to that, Steph, and listen, everybody, it's so easy for us when we see what could be a great group opportunity, and we get real excited, and so we want to say, oh, ask me how you could travel free, or I get you heavily discounted, right? That's easy because that's what we think is going to be the most appealing. But I want to give you a different perspective, okay? Not everybody cares. Not everybody wants to travel free. As an example, if it's in an organization or an association, that person who's the leader it may not be a legal thing for them to accept it free. So you're making an assumption that they can even accept it. Number two, they may have money coming out of their ears. They don't need it, and they may have a giving heart as a group leader. They say, no, I would rather have everyone else have opportunities to get a bonus or to save. Number three, how do you define free? Goodness gracious, when it comes to a cruise, how many little add-ons and stuff? So, is it one berth, two berths, NCCFs, taxes, fees, oh my gosh. And finally, it's pay for performance, friends. They've got to earn it. If you're out there saying, yeah, you'll travel free, that's the only thing you're going to hear. Number one, they may not, to Dayo's point, they may not work as hard because, hey, I'm just going to show up. I got it free because we just had this conversation and I'm giving you this group, so I've earned it already. I'm done. Okay, wrong kind of a group leader than you want. Okay, it doesn't define a true group leader. That's a selfish way. And number two, they have got to earn it, and you want to spell out in your group agreement letter, hey, I'll tell you what, if we sell this much, you'll get a berth. Define that. If we sell this much, you get this, and I'm going to give you a stretch goal. Well, what's a stretch goal? Well, if we sell 22, and I know you only think we're going to do 18, but 22, let me buy you a massage. Do you like massages? I mean, what if I don't like massages? I mean, it's like, so the most important thing is before you offer something free, what's their hot button? What do they want? What's going to excite them? What's going to make them work harder to help make the group successful? And that's the answer that I want to give to Steph. And the other part here about the first contact letter. So I just want to answer this quick. She says here, could you also share samples of first contact letters of introduction? I don't have enough time to do that and do this. I can probably do it back on the Facebook page. But I am I doubt I've invented it, okay, or patented it, but it's called a 15-minute meeting, friends. Every single week, set yourself a goal for having at least one 15-minute meeting locally. Well, everyone's looking for groups out there. They're all, oh, none of my groups are local here. Nobody goes in groups. Well, baloney, salami. All the groups you're ever going to need are on your list already, because everyone on your list already is part of a group. And if they don't know you do groups, and if you never not told them, you're not going to get their business. Go have a 15-minute meeting with a local business owner, the person who runs the organization, the person who runs the association. 15-minute meeting. You would not believe the success, Dayo, I have had simply asking local business people. And let me tell you, man, some of them are big shots, you know. And I just want to let you just put out a book, Jeremy. I want to come talk to you. How'd you write your book? I got in the door with Jeremy. I'm his friend now. He invites me to events. He's gotten me business, full boat keynote business. 15-minute meetings. There you go. All right. Here we're moving on. Jean Ann says, do the clients see all the reminders and communications between the vendor and the agent, or just between those with the client? So does the client see the reminders and communications, just want to read it again, between the vendor and the agent? So are there some that are public and some that can be private?
That's correct. So there's a feed that is shared between the agent and the client. And so that's for both the agent and the client to see. And then there's the private workspace where all your files, your tasks, your notes, your calendar, all that is separate and only visible to the agent.
Okay, there you go. Good stuff. Jean Ann said, when you say payments, do you provide a merchant account?
Yeah, so we don't provide a specific merchant account. We use a third-party processor, which is Stripe. The way it works is there's two types of payments on TravelJoy. So there's a supplier payment where you're not actually collecting the funds yourself. You're just authorizing a credit card, and that is, the majority of payments on TravelJoy are using these supplier payments. And then if you're charging something like a service fee, we do offer a way for you to collect those funds to your bank account through our integration with Stripe, through credit card or bank transfer. Your travel agency name will show up on their credit card statement, and it's a simple verification process where you enter your details. We do a fraud, background check to make sure that it's all good, and then we get you up and running.
So this is huge, friends. Please, are you paying attention to what I'm hearing here? Because if you guys know me, and you heard me before, you can't sell a bare bones stripped down off-the-shelf product. I tell you to package it up, value it up, which means that you're going to have multiple products, you're going to have markups and so forth. And wouldn't it be great to have one payment point, right? So that you're not, telling your customers, I mean, this is terrible. Hey, customers, you're going to see 11 different charges on your credit card. One's from the cruise line, one's from the excursion company, one's from the restaurant. Oh my gosh, doesn't work. So rather than you go out and get a merchant account, which is very expensive, use theirs. And I just learned something new that I didn't know was possible. Dayo, you said that on the consumer's credit card statement, they'll see that travel agency's name. They're not going to see TravelJoy. They'll see that travel agency's name. That's huge. That's huge. Jan says, it's just wonderful. So Jan apparently is a user. Just wonderful, and has changed my communications with clients and collection of data every single day. You have to see it to understand. Thank you for that, Jan. I appreciate that. Let's see here. Nick. Hey, Nick, welcome. Is TravelJoy an all-in-one solution, or will I need other products like Travify or for itineraries?
Yeah, so I'd say many of our agents are using Travify alongside TravelJoy. Travify does itineraries really, really well. And so it's not something that we're looking to replace. We do have a very simple proposal and itinerary tool within TravelJoy. But if you're looking for the bells and whistles, I would say use Travify alongside TravelJoy. Okay,
cool stuff. We mentioned numbers before, and can your system, so my question is, because I in a lot of cases, I suggest agents, pay attention agents, if you want to do more groups, that they net down. If they have multiple suppliers or vendors, net everything down and mark it up. So your product will allow them to to put in the numbers, to put adjustable numbers in. And so it's not just, if a supplier is paying 12% commission, it's not stuck in that. It can be netted down and customized.
Exactly. There's full customization on how you manage the invoices, how you track the commissions and sales in the back end. So we made it as simple as possible to send those out, but also to manipulate the data on the back end as well.
Beautiful. And this goes to Sam, who's a member of Boot Camp. Sam, her company's Traveling Good Company. She saw that there's been more and more Facebook posts, and agents, tell me if you've seen this before, that they get a call from their client. Hey, I saw this rate. It's lower. I'm paying more. All right, and right off the bat, if you're not selling a package, you're doomed, right? And then so the agent, they get the rate, blah, 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 and then lo and behold, it turns out to be a net rate. And they've just confirmed, oh, no problem, Mr. and Mrs. Jones, I got you that rate. And they turn around, it's a net rate. Guess how much money they've made? Wah, wah, wah. They've lost money.
Right.
So friends, has this ever happened to you? Be very careful. Now, clients are going to call you all day long and say, what about this rate? I saw it for this price, or my cousin calls her for this price. Well, if you're selling a package, there's no way they're going to shop you. But if you're not, you've got to be prepared for that, and you can be proactive and check with that supplier to see if rates have dropped, see if you can get the promotions. And it's almost always never apples to apples, is it? Sure, you want that rate, you're going to have an obstructed room cabin. Outside your window are going to be the light bulbs, the window cleaners. People are going to be looking in your window. Hello, this is a part of our business. You're professionals, friends. Come on, you guys know how to handle this. But be very careful with net rates. Sharon says, how is TravelJoy different from AgentMate?
We're not very familiar with AgentMate. We've heard that other CRMs are out there like AgentMate. I'd say the main thing about TravelJoy that distinguishes us from all the other CRM players is we are focused on communication first. Mm-hmm. So it's all about communication, and the CRM piece is there, but it is a byproduct of streamlining your communication and helping you communicate more effectively and look more professional to your clients. So we're trying to help you move faster, look better, mm-hmm. make more money, and then as a byproduct, you have all your information there in the CRM.
Cool. Jean Ann says, I ask, are the fields we create in the client profile searchable? Can I run a query for clients who want to do Amsterdam, travel in the spring and want a river cruise? So is it a searchable database if you create fields?
Not yet. This is a great question, something on our list and something that we'll be adding soon. But awesome question. What we're telling people to do in the meantime, just to work around, is to do an export and then search your list that way. But this is something that we're definitely going to add soon. Cool.
Excellent. Elaine says, hello, TravelJoy. Please send me the link to the live demo. So, friends, Elaine, I'll make sure I get that from you, Dayo, and that we post that in the whether you're in boot camp or whether you're in a Group Success Summit page. Lori says, I may have missed the detail. Does TravelJoy include email marketing tools? And I know the answer is yes to that.
Well, it's a work in progress, but we have very basic email marketing tools today. Those are coming. More to come there down the road.
Cool. Very good. Thank you for correcting me. So you have the basics and it's growing. There'll be more and more. Jan says, when are the weekly 201 calls? So you have, it's called a 201 call, an information call. What is that?
So the 101 is the intro to TravelJoy. Those happen weekly. The 201s are actually bi-weekly. So those are bi-weekly on Thursdays. I'll have to check if we have one tomorrow. I think it might be next Thursday.
Okay. All right. And I'm happy to, and you can have access to either of our Facebook groups too and publish this information because friends, you decide, is this a product you think you need for your business? Check it out. I'm here just to inspire you to bring more efficiency and more pleasure to your business. Now we have we have 6 minutes left. So I'm going to rifle through these. Here we go. Jan says, I love this. Look into no more robo. There you go. No more robo. She said, I love it. You get one ring and no more because no more robo stops it. So that's to prevent the darn robo calls.
That's awesome. I'll look into that.
Thank you, Jen. Exactly. Angie says, I have to call a client. Would you please send me the information to watch TravelJoy demo? I've got your email address there, Angie. We'll make sure we get that for you. Tiffany said, lost Dayo sound. I'm hearing him. I haven't seen anybody else. I don't know, Tiffany, but maybe he wasn't saying anything at the time. I don't know, but I hope it's working for you. Let me see here. Clavia says, does TravelJoy have a users group on Facebook? It would be great so we can share ideas.
We don't have a public users group. We do have one for our early members who came in before we were private beta. But the way that we do it today is through our help chat. It's something that we're thinking about, though. So send me a note. We'd love to figure out the best solution there.
Cool. You get some good information here.
This is great.
Cool. Jean Ann says, if we already have a non-Stripe merchant account, may we integrate that account with TravelJoy? Stripe has a reputation for holding money when it seems a higher than normal activity, which can include final payments. So if they have their own payment solution, can that be integrated as well?
There's no integration with other payment processors today, but there's no reason that you can't use those alongside TravelJoy. So if you wanted to drop in some other invoice link into your messages that you're sending in TravelJoy, you can still do that. But if you want it integrated with all the reports and the invoicing the way that we have it, you'll have to use ours. And one of the things I'll mention there about the holding of funds, because we are aggregating funds off of hundreds of accounts, we've actually got a little bit more leverage with Stripe. And so we haven't seen that issue. What we have seen is the need for additional verification once you get to certain volumes that you're sending. And so it might be that you need to enter your social security number or your EIN once you hit a certain point. But we make sure to communicate that with our agents and let them know when that additional information is needed. So we haven't seen that as a problem.
Okay, very cool. 3 minutes left. Marina also asked for a Facebook group. She says it would be great because it's a great way to share with other agents who may have had similar opportunities or issues to deal with. So I'm just sharing that. Nick says, I like the idea of collecting one payment from the client versus 11 different payments to different suppliers, but most suppliers don't allow agent credit card payments. So how do you get around this? How do you get around this? You use the merchant account solution like a TravelJoy offer. And it would be your agency name. So your consumer would never know it's not truly your merchant account. As long as it has your agency name on the credit card bill, you're golden. Julianne says, TESS seems to be very popular too. TESS, I don't know what that is. Do you?
Yeah, we've heard of TESS. It seems like another great solution. I think, I think the main thing is to try what works for you. What we've heard from agents is that TravelJoy seems to be easier to pick up than other solutions out there. But TESS seems like a great solution. We hear great things about it as well.
Cool. All right. Paula says, by chance, can we get a promo code for new signups as I missed the one during the summit? Yeah, you actually came through with another one that ended August 31st. So I'm putting it to you right there. This is right from Paul. It was just typed in. You're on the spot.
Well, I got a surprise for you guys. We did actually create a promo code here. It's called Stuart Bootcamp. And that's going to get you 50% off your first 3 months of TravelJoy. And so that's Stuart Bootcamp, no spaces. You can enter that in for the next week. So that'll be good until Wednesday next week at this very time. So if you're looking for a promo code, there you go. It's the best one that we've got out right now. So take advantage of it. Stuart Bootcamp.
Nice. Stuart Bootcamp. That's one word, Stuart Bootcamp. Very cool. Thank you for that. Honest to goodness, Paula just typed that in. All right, my friends, if I'm going to go back and review, if there's a question here that we didn't have time to get to, I promise you I'll get answers and we'll post it in Bootcamp and in the Group Sales Success Summit. If you're here as a guest today, thanks for being here. We do this every other week. Sometimes it's just me. Sometimes I invite in expert guests. Dayo, any parting words you want to leave to our travel professionals who have given us their hour today?
Yeah, thank you so much for attending, and I just applaud you for investing your time into improving your business. take a look at TravelJoy. A 7-day free trial. Student Bootcamp will get you 50% off your first 3 months. And then there's a 30-day refund. If you don't like the software, if you don't feel like it's adding value, we don't want you to be paying for something that is not bringing value to your business. And so we want to get that feedback so we can improve the software, and just let us know what you think and what your pain points are. And we'll see what we can do for you.
This is great. I've really enjoyed this because you provide a solution to a real pain point for so many agency owners or agents, number one. Number two, I'm sure hearing it's all about customer centricity. Agents, what do you need? We're going to give you what you need, not what we think you need. You tell us what you need. And finally, the third point, then I'm going to let everyone's dismissed to go have lunch or breakfast, no matter where you are, if you're in California, is the third point. Isn't it nice, friends? Isn't it nice to see a young company, 2 years, a young company out there building a brand new product that's growing and investing in you, investing in the travel distribution system? You know, there are naysayers out there. Oh, I didn't know travel agents still exist. Well, those people are making big, bad, terrible mistakes booking it themselves or booking it direct. Isn't it nice to know this is a great validation point that you've got a young company here producing really cool, easy to use stuff that can help your business flourish? Dayo, thanks for being here.
Thank you, Stuart.
Bye, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. See you next time.
Peace.